Good evening, everybody. It's Racer here, and it is Sunday night, and we have ourselves live on the Assetto Corsa. So let's see if we can get ourselves to where we need to be. So it is round. Excuse me, I do some, here we go, we're live now, so, sure, volume's down, okay. So, we are getting ready for about 3 minutes, or a little more than 3 minutes out from qualifying for America's Race League Assetto Corsa Competizione at Zandvoort. This is round 3. We are in mixed conditions right now. We have a damp track, so we'll see what we end up getting. Whether we get a greasy track or a wet track or a damp track. So a big decision being made whether or not we run with the dry tires or wet tires on a dry setup. We've done some laps, and it's mixed bag. So depending on where we are with qualifying, what it ends up being, it's fairly chilly temps. So tires, they do get warm, but it's a fine line between being warm and overly warm. So roasted and warm. So it's just a double points round, 75 minutes. So a little bit longer than we've been dealing with before. So, again, we're in the Porsche 911 992 GT3 Cup spec car. Everybody's in the same car. I think there's one person that is in the older Cup car, the 991.2, and so we have two classes. They're white boards, which are your pros, and we have your red boards, which are your bronze or amateur. It's good racing all around for everybody. So we're just going to let it roll over into qualifying. So we are pitted in box number 1, so we get a lot of opportunity to change our setup during the pit stop. There is a mandatory pit stop, again, for fuel. If the track remains dry, then we should be okay. If it goes to a wet, drying track, then we'll probably be a bit in the wrong. So we think we did set we don't have a dry setup. Yeah, that we do. So we do have a dry setup, which should be okay. So let's go ahead and load and save that. Save, yes. So we do have our setup the way we want it. So yeah, that's gonna be tricky. But we'll see. It looks like over the next it's going to be 2 p.m. qualifying, so qualifying could be greasy. If it's greasy, then we can switch our setup to dry tires. So yeah, but we were able to put in a pretty good lap. I'll look at timetables right now. We put in a 1:45.9, which is pretty good. That's pretty fast, probably our quickest lap. And we were just our main competition here is Bagnall in number 57. He's a 45.9, so he's just a tiny bit quicker. Amador is also he's also our competition, and his times will come around. Bender too. So we got some guys to play with. So hopefully we get some clean laps. And we'll, like I say, a big question mark right now is going to be whether or not we get a dry. But we're not going to get a dry track, but we should either get a greasy or a damp track. And I'm hoping for the damp track, because the greasy track is really sketchy. I wasn't able to do any kind of decent lap times with the slick tires. So yeah, we're on a greasy track, so kind of not ideal. So we'll go switch our setup to the greasy setup. But we got to remember to switch that back if we get a track. So it's going to be very damp. Let's make sure what we got. We have a dry tire. Probably dump some fuel off. Drop a bunch of fuel, actually. I think the least you can do is that much, and we'll probably go with brake pad 1. So hopefully we can get some heat nose. So 10-minute qualifying, you get a one shot deal. You get an out lap and a flying lap. It's pretty much all you're going to get. That's all you're supposed to get. Excuse me. It's just those 2 laps, and then you bring it into the pits, or you pull off a track and then exit to the pits. So you got to get yourself off the track. So no passing and qualifying. You should give yourself a good gap. So we'll see how it goes. We're only using like 1.5 liters of fuel per lap, so it's very little fuel used. These cars are very they sip the fuel, so all the pros should be out on the track right now. I think we got 1 or 2 left that haven't gone out yet. So we got 6 AMs and what, 8 pros. So, but yeah, 75 laps is going to be very. These conditions are really not good. So I just hope I can get a valid lap. So. If you go off in your out lap, you're okay. But if you go off in your if you go off on your invalidate your valid lap, your flying lap, you're hosed. So I'm thinking we'll probably see lap times down in the 44s. 43s, more than likely 43s. You could see 42. Here you got some pretty quick guys. Zanotti's quick, and I don't see number 3 here. He's not on. He was usually a really quick guy. He's not. Zanotti's quick. Marshall, all the pros are quick. Wright, the 54 is quick. I mean, they're all quick. They're quicker than I am. They should be quicker than all the AMs. So, go drive now. Squirrel got on track or not. It's hard to say if anybody's got a valid lap right now. Yes, let's see. not great for sure. Still got Magnell out there. I don't know if he's finished his lap. So, I don't know what George is doing. George is way up on pace, so you might have had saw wet tires on too. Usually they'll cook though if you don't get the tire pressures right. So yeah, we might have yeah, 43s, 43. It's pretty ridiculous. I'm at 49. Yeah, so hopefully it's a wet track. I really hate this greasy track. I've had zero confidence in this car with the greasy track. It's just really not good. So. Yeah, not great at all. Not looking forward to this. Not looking forward to this race if it's going to be a greasy track. It's just going to be really not good. So, but yeah. But we'll see. I returned to the garage. So qualifying's over. So it'll be the next day. So Sunday at 9 p.m. We'll see how the track conditions are. I'm praying for a wet track, as I just said. So. It's a wet track.
Conditions. Watch out for curves and exit, and remember to brake early.
Alright, I'm gonna go back to our setup. Change our setup. Load. Got plenty of fuel, and we're going to go with strategy 1. And then, let's see, if it stays wet the whole race, we should be good to go. So, we were fairly quick in the wet. Not so quick mixed conditions, so, yeah. Yeah, we're missing a couple guys here. Number 60 and number 60 in the AMs, number 3 in the pros. So we got 14. We're missing like 3 or 4 people. I know at least 3. We generally have 17. So yeah, we're gonna have a. Need to figure out when we're gonna do the pit stop. I guess when we run out of fuel. So, but it's going to be about halfway anyway. So it debates whether or not we have any damage and whether or not we take tires. And I think maybe tires might be the way to go, just because the way they've been. 27, 28. I won't be able to check that till just before we load out, so hopefully it all goes well. Hope everybody in America had a happy and joyous Thanksgiving with your families. Celebrate that here in America. and in other places they might celebrate something else. But sweet. So yeah, we had a good time. Our bigger family. So, all right. Yeah, the waiting. So I will probably not say a whole lot during the race. So don't expect a lot of comms. It's a very stressful ordeal. Take this jacket off. It might get a little warm. I've not used the bathroom, so hopefully I don't have to. Yeah, there's our pit. Pit set up. Alrighty. Stay out of trouble.
Stay single file.
Yeah, George was quick on the greasy conditions. Yeah, this is one part that they redid on the current track, the modern, the actual real track. Is that part's more of a bowl. Spa didn't go too well. Hopefully this goes well. I don't have a lot of hope with this this wet race. I think anything you could survive is best. It was still a wet track, not a damp track. Hope a lot of room is given to each other. Try to sort everything out after the first lap. It's a longer race. It's kind of like a mini endurance race at this point. Also been having connection issues, so hopefully we can make it to halfway. I don't want to have to revisit this track in these conditions.
Green light, go, go, go. Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear
Oh, man. thought the car ahead of me now was behind me was a was George in my class.
Slow car ahead. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Sonati wrecked. Car ahead of me. Gonna spin out.
There's a slow car up ahead. pretty good. Let's go.
Oh, the worst possible thing that could happen. And this is the even worse, the more worst thing that could happen. Oh, come on.
Halfway through, keep pushing.
Gotta get used to the car with more weight in it. Thank you, George. Ah. Second stint's not going well.
Yellow flag, be careful there. Yellow flag in sector 2.
Personal best and then ruin it with a... Oh, no, 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 no.
Some light damage on the front.
No, no, no. Oh, come on, car. Hey, Tim. Snaps. Ugh, come on. This is going to kill us right here. Been on the ragged edge of trying to be a little more aggressive, and then every time I try it, I get bit and I bite myself. These conditions is just really I'll keep gaining on P2, on P1 that is. didn't want to get lapped, but also wanted to choose when he got by me. Same with Raboni behind me.
Faster car coming up behind you.
So I think my race is done. I have cars a little too messed up to push. Magnol's car might be messed up too. So he's not exactly doing crazy lap times. A couple of those long spin outs really hosed me. Just wish the pros would have the red paint jobs. Ah. It's kind of funny, but the pro cars, which have the white number boards, dirty tires, are supposed to have red cars, and the AMs are supposed to have white cars but red number boards. At least on the Delta, that is. Which I don't care. I like the white car anyway. Minutes. Seven laps plus this lap. I think my tires are done. I don't think they are. Tires should be good for an hour. Oh, we're past an hour though. Uh-oh. Oh, that's not good. Get back in a groove, right? Well, it's a wet track, so tire deg should not be too bad.
Yellow flag, watch out. Slow car ahead.
I'm looking away and I'm still following him right off course.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Well done, George. George qualified really well. Must have done a lot of time on a greasy track. I didn't get a lot of time on the greasy track, so I kind of like. come on. Every race. Hello viewers, thank you everybody who's tuned in. Alrighty, I'm gonna turn to the garage. So yeah, we ended up P2. Looks like we had somebody dropped out. So 9th overall, P2. So good stuff. Replay, save replay. We'll look at it later, maybe. I don't know. Save highlights. That's it. So yeah, a lot of laps. Just about got the fuel to the perfect. Yeah, luckily I didn't use too little. So Neil was 5th. Neil was 5th overall. Let's look at timetables if we can real quick. See what a 1:46.2 back. So let's look at mine. 1:46. So I would have gotten a bonus point for fastest lap. Yes. In my class. Oh wait a minute. Maybe we didn't. We gotta check everybody. George didn't. Amador? I want to go back to timetables. Amador. Let's see what Amador did. 146.1. Return to garage. Timetables. Amador. Yeah, Amador. I don't think. Bender. 148. Yeah. So yeah, it looks like we might have got the fastest lap, so that's good. All right, I'll quit out. Yeah, so that's we always want a bonus point if you can get one. I was pushing a little bit there because I thought I could have at least knocked off a couple tenths, but yeah, I don't know that would happen. So Yeah, difficult race. Glad that it stayed wet. I felt a lot more comfortable in the wet than in the greasy track. It didn't go to damp, because damp probably would have been okay. Probably been a little, I don't know, about the same, really. So anyway, but appreciate everybody for watching. It was, uh, a tough race. Trying to, we had a lot of fun there in the beginning, battling with George. And the couple of pros that were back there. I didn't realize that Zanotti was behind me for that amount of time. I would have probably let him by faster, because I think I was probably losing time, because he was way faster in sector one. He was picking up on me everywhere, and I would have let him go if I were to look down at the delta and saw that he was a pro. I would have let him pass. That probably would have helped me catch up maybe a little bit to Bagnall, but Bagnall's pretty quick. I think our times we're real close. He's just a little bit quicker than I am, but we'll see. Our next round is at Barcelona. Hopefully, Barcelona is dry, and then after that, the season finale is at Indy. And if they're using real world weather, I don't know if they have snow in this game. I don't think they do, and studded tires, because Indy might be a little definitely going to be wet, and that will suck. Hopefully, we don't use real world weather, but more than likely we will. So anyway, again, thanks everybody for popping in and watching, and appreciate those that come in and watch later. It was fun. It was a fun race. I was not expecting. I was expecting more people, but I wasn't expecting P2. And we could have probably challenged for P1 in my class, but like I say, I think he got clear air, and I was battling a little bit, and I got a little. Well, I spun out quite a few times, and I think I probably would have been with him if I didn't spin out. But that's coulda, shoulda, wouldas, ifs, ands, and buts. So anyway, again, thanks everybody for watching. Y'all have a great night, and we'll see you. Probably this week we probably do a stream of the Spec 3 update, and yeah, otherwise we'll see you next Sunday, same bat channel, same bat time, for Barcelona. All right, again, thanks everybody. Have a good night.